In this tech tip, we're going to look at swarf clearance and how to control tool retraction during cutting. To explain what we're going to do, let's look at a simulation of machining in this MTM. Here we see a turning tool called up. It's doing 6 facing passes across the part. Now this is a large diameter part, 19-inch diameter, and unalloyed steel for a railway wheel. So there's quite a bit of work the tool's doing, then it does some turning. After that tool's complete, a large insert drill is brought up to pre-drill some opening holes that will be used for roughing later. Then we're switching back to turning mode using a full round tool and taking advantage of EDGECAM's rough waveform turning cycle to remove material with that tool from the hub area, and then bringing in a milling tool. Now the milling tool is coming in to remove the access or weight reduction holes, and we see it uses EDGECAM's high-speed waveform roughing, which is stock aware and also aware of the entry hole, and that is used during the milling of those opened up areas. After that tool is done in the final outboard hole, it's going to move to the inboard hub, and we'll just mill most of the material out of that area rather than bringing in a boring bar, kind of dealer's choice. So we see the end of the current tool path in the part. We're going to go make some improvements to it. We'll begin by editing the rough turn cycle that builds the 6 passes across the top of the face. We'll head over to the Control tab and we'll have a look at the swarf clearance options. Now we can control or limit tool path by number of cuts or time between cuts in this cycle. We'll ask for 3. So every 3 passes, stop. Why are we stopping? It could be to change inserts. It could be to remove chips. It could be to inspect the part. I get to choose why. We'll put in the coordinates to retract to, and then we'll put in a request for a program stop and press OK and then OK. Now, you'll notice that we still have one roughing event to handle those 6 passes. EDGECAM does not split this apart into multiple commands. It leaves it as one command for convenience, but I can also put in swarf controls. Let's ask Simulator to stop at program stop events as well as any collisions that we may have, and we'll count the number of passes. 1, 2, 3, and then a retract. Exactly like we asked. If I press play, we would see the other 3 at that point. Let's return to EDGECAM and now have a look at the mill roughing. There's quite a bit of holes here. This takes a significant amount of cycle time. If we look at the cycle time, EDGECAM reports 1 hour and 30 minutes approximately. While I believe the tool will handle that, I do want to pause and do some checking on how things are going at various stages. So we'll edit that roughing cycle. We'll head to the Approach tab, and again, we have swarf clearance options. Now, swarf clearance here in the mill roughing is new at EDGECAM 2024.1 release. If we open up the help available from the lower left of the dialog, we see the What's New tab clearly mentions these new things as well as some other enhancements, and we can use these. So, similar to what we saw in turning, we can go in and put in this case, cut for 30 minutes, and then I put my X, Y, and Z retractions, and again, I want a program stop. So cut for 30 minutes, retract the tool, move it out to a position, let me have a chance to inspect the tool, remove any swarf that may be building up in this vertical machining center. Let's have a look at that. Again, stop options are set to stop at a program stop event, and we'll play simulation. We see the tool come in, do some machining. I'll speed this up a bit for time. We've reached 30 minutes, retract away, and notice come out to the coordinates that we requested. Perfect. Play, resume, comes right back into the area, intelligently re-enters the material, resumes cutting, again out of a single program event or cycle for convenience in EDGECAM, then program stop, and after, if I play it again, we'd resume. Equally important, let's have a look at NC code. So in the NC code, I'm going to do a quick search for Swarf. Now, we see in here that we see Swarf clearance. So the comments even reflect why we're stopping. We see the retraction, we see the program stop, and we see the machine restarted intelligently. That's on the turning work. Let's fast forward. Again, look for Swarf. The next Swarf event is now the milling tool. Again, we see the retract coordinates and the program stop. And we'll search a third time and see the third one. Now, just to mention that the stop events will be output correctly through any normally built post-processor. So you don't have to do significant post-processor work other than having built a good post for this technology to work. Now here I'm going to go up to the What's New documentation that ships with EDGECAM. When I go to table of contents, we encourage you to skim through it. You may find some things that are worth having a deeper look at. And here we notice that again, the Swarf clearance is noted that at EDGECAM 2024.1, it is added in the mill roughing command. So we've had it in turning for some time. Cycles with Swarf clearance and turning are the rough turn, the rough waveform turn, and the rough profiling cycle. We've noted where those are in each of those cycles. That's been long-standing EDGECAM functionality on the turn side, and we hope that many of our customers are already familiar with that from turning applications. Well, now in EDGECAM 2024.1 release, that technology is available in the mill roughing cycle, which is the primary roughing cycle for everything EDGECAM. As noted earlier, you probably don't need to do post-processor work on the program stop area of your post-processor to leverage this functionality. All you need to do is install EDGECAM 2024 and begin taking advantage of this capability. Do you have questions on this or other topics? Please contact us to discuss. We would love to hear from you.